All right, welcome back to another awesome episode of Life on the Ave. This is episode 125, and I'm here with my new friend who I just met, Gwen George. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you.
Super excited. I slid in her DMs, or she emailed us, and I was like, I've been meaning to slide in your DMs anyway, so I'm super excited to have her on. So Gwen is the owner of Rooni Studio, which just opened up around the corner from our office in 40 acres, Trolley Square, if you are going with the fun, trendy name, but 40 acres is technically the neighborhood. So let me get quick into your bio. I'm so excited for today's guest, Gwen George, owner of Rooni Studio here in Wilmington. Gwen is bringing a completely fresh, modern take to florals, creating designs that feel more like art than traditional arrangements. Her background in visual merchandising, it really shows in the way that she plays with texture, shape, and flow, and everything she creates is incredibly intentional. She recently opened her studio in the Trolley Square 40 acres neighborhood and has already been collaborating with local businesses and transforming spaces all over the city while also focusing on weddings. If you love beautiful design, supporting locals, or just want to hear how someone builds a creative business from the ground up, you're going to love Gwen of Rooni Studio. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
So excited to have you on because this is here. Not my world. And I think we probably have more in common. Just we'll talk about real estate and staging. But from your perspective, how did you get here?
So I fell into floral design. Shortly after COVID, I moved down here from Philadelphia area and caught the bug, the flower bug. And I've always wanted to start my own business. It was a long time goal. Lots of family members own their own businesses still to today. So that sort of drive of like doing your own thing, being your own boss has always been instilled in me. And I just needed to find what it was. Yeah. And flowers felt like that and still do. So Rooni came about shortly after I left the last flower shop I worked at. I just wanted to go full force and make it official. So, yeah.
What does Rooni mean? Where does that come from?
Rooni was my dog.
Oh,
my
fun.
Dog of 14 years. Her name is spelled a little differently, but just so special and unique and a character, a personality. And I just knew that I needed to memorialize her some way. We had to let her go in January of this year.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So thank you. But, she was around for the beginning and came with me on deliveries and all that good stuff. And so, yeah.
That's amazing. That's so cool. And when did you officially open?
I've been in business since 2023, but I found that space at the end of December. So officially I had my opening party 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I tried to come. I could not come. I just had a baby, so it did not work out.
Yeah, no worries. No.
But it looks like a beautiful space.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I could barely catch my breath.
Yes, it was so exciting.
I was so grateful for everybody that came and supported, and it's just a nice welcoming to the neighborhood. Neighbors came and told me how excited they were to have a flower shop in the area and all that. So it was
so
really
cool.
Great.
So for someone that does not know you, has never found you on Instagram, they're maybe listening to this for the first time. What are you? What do you do? Like, what's like your elevator pitch for why you should come to Rooni?
Rooni is a modern florist. I'm a modern floral design studio. I'm a florist by trade. I'm not a flower shop, so I'm not open all the time for you to come in and buy things, but it's more special in the way that I have it set up, that there's one day we can come in and buy local flowers, curated flowers, things that all go together that you can purchase and put right in your vase and have a Rooni design at home.
Wow.
I do weddings, events, any sort of event, showers, birthdays, celebrations of life.
Cool.
Local delivery, routine deliveries to homes, businesses, basically anything flower related.
Wow.
If I can do it, I will.
Yeah, I love that. From your Instagram page, when I first stalked you like a month ago and I first heard of you, it seems like you do a lot of weddings. Yeah. Those are probably the events that are most heavily photographed. So your Instagram feed seems very bridal. So say we're in wedding season, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what are you offering our brides? Maybe someone that's had you as their florist for their wedding. What can someone expect?
I become friends with my brides.
I'm sure.
I love that about where I'm at in my business. They give me their trust and I give them everything that I have, and we come out with a friendship and a bond. And when they need anything for celebrations, baby showers, whatever it is, they come to me, which is awesome. But it's difficult because a lot of people are struggling with the cost of weddings in general, which is not new, right? They've always been expensive, but obviously people are making less. Things are harder to afford. Totally understand. So keeping my focus more art forward rather than cheap and plenty.
Yeah.
Kind of, you know, like
totally.
I don't want to sound harsh when I say that, but it's definitely what I offer is more impactful, meant to be more a part of the evening and
memorable
and memorable and photographed beautifully and just as important as the dress and everything else, the hair, the glam, right?
It shows. It totally shows. I mean, the couple pictures I looked at, like it's not your normal, you know, prom bouquet that's just like full of a bunch of, you know, random flowers that so-and-so just like threw together in a bouquet. Like these are very unique, like they're artwork, you know, like you said. And like I said in the beginning, not my world. I'm a realtor. I work in property management. I'm a people person. I have zero creativity in my bones.
I'm sure you do.
I have, you know, I was in plays growing up. I can sing. I have like some of that, but I cannot like color to save when my kids get the coloring pages out, I'm like, this is daddy's realm. Like, this is not my world. So, but I know, like looking at your feed, like these are very specifically curated. I'm sure people come to you with like very specific visions. Like these are not, you know, your Joe Schmo, you know, book the flowers and we'll see you in 6 months.
You know, when I get those inquiries and it's, you know, I'm more than happy to say, hey, I know this person who does this better than me. This is my style. This is my aesthetic. This is the price that comes with that. Here are a list of people that can and will happily do this for you. You know, like I don't book a lot, but what I book is important to me. It's intentional for me. And like I said, I book somebody like they are on my mind until the wedding day. And then after, because I want to know how it all went, you know? So that's what you get with Rooni rather than a florist that is pumping stuff out every single day.
Yeah. You know, 12 bridesmaid bouquets that all are identical. And these are very specific visions. So you also do, and I said in your bio, and I think it's one of these questions I gave you. So you also are working with a lot of other local businesses in Delaware. I know DeCourcy Beauty is one. So that's the first one I really jumped on because I saw Bryn Gray was at your opening and Bryn is a very close friend of ours, client of ours. I get my eyebrows done with her. I have a hat on because they don't look great today. I am due to go into DeCourcy Beauty. But I know DeCourcy's one. What kind of stuff do you do for them? And then anyone else you're currently working with?
They get a monthly design. Just a cute little thing on their coffee table. And keep it in the pinks and whites and greens family. Just
that's
to
her vibe.
Go with their space. You know, I designed for Brouhaha Greenville as well, and they let me have free reign. So I do fun things, beautiful things, colors mixed, all monochrome, just kind of whatever is available and whatever I'm feeling. So that's a great partnership as well. But yeah, the businesses are great to collaborate with. I would really love to get some more on my docket and just bring florals to them that enhance their space and welcome people and, you know, just make them want to come back and see what else is going on or just be around pretty things.
What would be like a dream client for you? Big, I mean, you could go massive. Like we could go like national brands. Like who would you love to design for?
Oh my gosh.
Sorry, didn't give her this question.
National brands
didn't give her this question in advance. Or local, anybody local. I mean, you already have Brouhaha. Like that is literally the dream. Brouhaha is amazing.
I mean, it would be nice to get into Hotel DuPont.
Yes.
I think that
cool.
I've done a wedding there in 2024 and the bride was super mod and woodsy and we did moss on the tables and everything was just weird and
so fun.
So far from what they normally get and what people normally see in there.
Right.
Like I think my pictures of their wedding was buried on their Instagram because it was just not
their normal vibe.
But it's such a historic place and so beautiful and grand that sometimes I feel like the florals that are seen there don't do it justice.
Yeah, copy and paste.
Yeah, so that would be cool.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I'm really down for whoever.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, everybody needs flowers. Yeah, she slid in our DMs and was like, "Hey, you know, can help with your listings, your own space, whatever." And I'm like, "Yeah." Like one of the questions, we can just jump to it. So you talk about how you like to help out with like the home staging process.
Yeah.
And we have a client. We sold a house. She works in Arizona. Her clientele is like multi-million-dollar homes, right? So then she was selling like a $300,000 house with us, and she's like, we're talking about like the florals in the house, and we're like, we don't usually do that for the $300,000 houses, but she was insistent on like having plants in her listings.
Yeah,
like,
totally.
She was really big on like, I've never had, this is fake, but like we've never had greenery in this office. We talk about having it. But I do, when I see like a solid, you know, staged home with the florals or plants or whatever, it shows.
Of course, yeah. I mean, they're life. It's bringing life into the space.
Totally.
And also, you know, if you have a house and you need it sold in the summer, like let's get some hydrangeas in there and make it feel like if there's a bush out back that somebody just cut them and brought them in and just bring that essence.
We wouldn't even think of that. We wouldn't even think of that. That's why we need people like you.
Well, I'm here. But no, I think it's an element that could only bring you success, and having people feel like, wow, like this is beautiful. I want to go cut from my garden, whether it's there or not, and just have that element of life and something living in that space already.
Yeah. So for us, like, you know, we work with buyers and sellers, and like, you know, ideally that's, you know, when we're listing a home, a buyer comes in and they like you said, feel that life, they can picture themselves there. And I do feel, although I'm not the creative person, like I do feel a lot of people in this area are. Totally. So especially at certain price points, I feel like that'd be a no-brainer. So I love it. I do think we'll be reaching out at some point, especially any of our higher priced listings. Nice. So take me back to the early days. So you moved here, COVID times, kind of crazy times to kind of be thinking about starting your own business. Yeah. At what point were you like, screw it, I'm going all in on this. Like I'm investing in myself and I'm going to just go ahead and be an entrepreneur and start this business?
It was always like a quiet thing. I think, like, you know, just growing up with, my dad ran his own businesses. My grandfather did, aunts and uncles. All the hairs. It's in my blood. Yeah. I mean, my mom has been an X-ray tech for almost 40 years. So there's that too, of like career path. I've had so many different jobs. But yeah.
But like, at what point were you like, I'm going all in on this? Was there a day you woke up that you were like, I'm doing it?
Well, so I'm a florist at Terrain. I'm on their floral team. So I still have a
good
quote unquote
9 to 5. Yeah. Yeah. W-2 for 1099.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, but it still fills my cup of being a florist and working with flowers and trialing and airing and working with clients and learning things. Rooni is where I get to do Gwen.
Right.
So I think I'm not 100% Rooni because I'm still at Terrain, which I don't foresee myself leaving. I enjoy it.
That's like a dream.
Unless people start banging on my door of like, we need you every day. But yeah, I think, you know, just having the entrepreneurial spirit always in me. For years, I went through photography. I was making ceramics. I was doing macrame just to like find something that would click, that felt like I can make this and I can sell it and I can feel good about it. And none of those things really did. Yeah. And flowers, when I started working at a local shop and started learning, it felt right. Like it felt like this creative process that I enjoyed, but I could also separate and sell. Cause that's something with being an artist. I don't really like calling myself an artist.
You are.
Thank you. You know, a creative person is that separation of making something, pouring your heart, using your hands, and making something out of something else, and then selling it, right, for money that you can live off of, right? Yeah. Like I don't just want to sell for wholesale costs, right? No, there's markups, there's everything. I was just thinking about it today, like why am I doing this? But you have to mark your shit up.
It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
So, you know, that separation was something that I needed to learn. And the floral design aspect felt comfortable. Like, oh no, I made this. This is worth something. Yeah. And I want to be paid for it.
Yeah. And you should. Yeah.
That was the hang up between every other sort of medium that I went through. Yeah.
What surprised you about entrepreneurship and more like the business side of things? Any big lessons you've learned or any big surprises?
Not really. No. I always saw the family members that had businesses working constantly.
So you knew.
My aunt and uncle lived above their hair salon, like the building it was in, they lived above it. So, and that's kind of what I set up for myself initially. Like I made my front room in our house, my studio, and I'd walk upstairs and go to sleep and then come back down and see my mess or my work or whatever it was. So that was hard, but gladly figured it out and got out of that space. So that sort of work-life balance is there. It never stops in your head, but at least when it's out of your space, your daily, you're in your home and there's a place to rest and not see it. Yeah. It definitely helps. So that's probably been the biggest thing. But.
Yeah, I could see that. So tell me about, so now that you are moved out of your front room of your house, so tell us about your space. So you're on 16th Street.
Yes.
Right. Literally you're 2 blocks from our office. Yes. So tell us about that space. It came available. What have you done to it? Like, just tell us about your overall vibe in there.
Yeah. So I was looking through the fall, just kind of on and off. After the space in my home, I found a garage for last summer because I knew I needed to buy a cooler for the weddings I had last summer. And I found a little garage slot up in Baynard. And that worked great. I got my cooler in there. I did the summer. sweat my ass off, froze my ass off. And then when it got to like November, I was like, I can't do this again next year.
Sustainable.
So I started looking, and I was walking Rooney, my dog, over here just because we never really came over here. But I wanted to switch it up and saw a for rent sign. And I was like, what is that? And it was on Craigslist.
Yep.
So kind of hidden, but I found it and got connected and hounded them to answer my call.
Obsessed.
And two great people. So they were just excited to have somebody creative come in, and that was going to enhance the neighborhood a little bit.
Yeah.
I haven't done much to it besides I put some glass in the front door just so it felt more like a retail space rather than something like closed off.
Yep.
I've got my sign put up that was made by a friend of my partner Jason's.
Nice.
And just got all my stuff in there and made it me.
Obsessed. So what day, you said you're open one day a week for like?
Open Tuesdays for people to come in and buy cut flowers. Every week I order a collection of flowers that all coordinate together color-wise or feeling season-wise. All priced individually in vases that you can come in and pick one or pick 12, whatever you want.
Yeah.
That I can wrap up for you or I can design for you. And then Wednesdays through Sundays are appointment only because I do deliveries on Wednesdays, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or when events are going on, I'm delivering, I'm ordering, I'm doing back end stuff, but happy to meet anybody during those times. So yeah.
So we do have a big holiday coming up in my world, Mother's Day.
Yes.
As a mother of 3, anything you recommend? Do you sell things for Mother's Day?
Yes, I'm doing Mother's Day offering.
Awesome.
I'm going to be for pickup on that day. I do have to be at a wedding setup, so Jason's going to be manning the
Love that.
POS
Love
counter.
that.
But everything's going to be, prepped and ready. Pre-orders only.
Nice.
Just a pretty color mix of pretty flowers and...
So if somebody's interested and they live in the neighborhood, happen to be a couple blocks away, and their wife happened to just birth a 3rd child for them, how would you recommend them, hitting you up and ordering in advance?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to be getting that situated on my website for pre-ordering probably next week.
Love that.
Taking as many as I get. And then if anything else is needed, I'm always available via DM and email.
Yeah.
I don't mind that. There's an inquiry form on my website you can fill out. I'm literally always there waiting to answer anything.
Love it.
But yeah, there's going to be a pre-order window for Mother's Day.
So convenient. And we have so many like young families, especially in this neighborhood. So I'm sure I will definitely clip one of these as a reel. Like there are definitely some young, and I always say there are a lot of dads pushing strollers in Charlie Square.
It's true.
It's a lot of dads. It's very impressive because I'm always like, you know what? Good. It's not just the moms pushing these strollers. Let's get the dads out. And I love the dads always have the dog, the stroller, the coffee, they always are souped up. So I'm sure there are plenty of dads in this neighborhood that need to get their wives flowers. And we don't need to just get the last minute Acme flowers, guys. Let's put some thought and intention in advance when we're thinking about these things.
There's nothing wrong with that. No. There's Trader Joe's, but time and place. But if you want something beautiful, artful, intentionally made,
and just the thought in advance. It's like hey, I knew Mother's Day was coming, or I knew that event or whatever was coming up. I didn't think of it at the last minute. I put intentional thought ahead of time. So yeah, shout out all the dads out there, shout out all the moms out there. We do have a big holiday coming up, so and I always say it sets the tone for Father's Day, so make sure you step up, and people get their moms something, like I should probably put in an order for my mom. I love it. So as someone who is in this creative space, what advice would you give to a young entrepreneur or someone similar to yourself that's like scared to go jump in and scared to go do it and sign a lease? Like that's a huge commitment, signing a lease. Totally. So what advice would you give to someone that's, going to be hopefully inspired by this and is like, I got to do what Gwen's doing?
Well, I'm a Capricorn, like
we talked about this.
It's a gift and a curse to have an idea and a thought and the process of I can do it and not accomplishing it. Like I will go to sleep thinking about how I can make something happen. Yes. Which is good and bad. But I think creatively also, I would say to anybody that is making things and they want to sell, or they're doing farmers markets and they want to grow, like
it's okay.
It was just about learn how to say no.
Yeah. It's good advice.
I think what's gotten me to where I am is saying no to the things that don't feel good for me to do.
Yeah.
And don't push my agenda,
Yeah.
quote unquote,
Yeah, or
right? Like
align
it's
with
not
your
an agenda,
values.
but the brand,
Yes.
the aesthetic, everything that you work so hard to bring together to put out there. If you start saying yes to things that are just going to give you a paycheck, but not make you feel good as
Such
an
good advice.
artist,
Yep.
as a small business owner, as an individual, then it's going to eat away at you. And I think from what I had seen at the shops that I worked at, like you're just saying yes to everybody. You're constantly pumping things out. You're just a machine. And that can happen in any creative field.
Totally.
Photography, ceramics,
It happens
whatever.
with us. We're not creative,
right?
but like sellers that don't hit us up to list their house, and it's like, well, that's my friend from high school, and it's like, sometimes it's like we weren't meant to work together.
Yes,
like
exactly.
it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. There is a vendor for everybody. There's a customer for everybody. So I think learning how to say no respectfully, and finding some people in your community that do what these people are asking for, or if you're running up against the same thing of people not happy with what you offer, whether it's price or availability. Like me setting my hours to only one day a week was hard.
It is hard.
But I know that I want that balance, and I know that my priority are larger events, and I need that time to rest and be a human being.
Totally.
To get the work done.
Yeah.
And that can't happen with the revolving door. So I think it's, for artists and creatives, like you have to have that boundary up, and you have to honor what you offer.
Yeah.
And
Such good advice.
the people will come.
Yeah.
And they'll be even more excited because you are you, and what you offer is only you, and you don't do everything for everybody.
Yeah. You're not just a yes man. And then you're miserable, and they don't want to hang out with you ever again. No. Do you have any big goals for Rooni Studio? Employees, more locations? Or are we just like taking this one day at a time?
Yeah, one day at a time. Big goals would be to one day be Rooni full time.
Yeah.
And do a wedding a week, or a couple weddings a month. But I have no time frame on that. I thoroughly enjoy my life and what I do. And it's crazy to say that. For a while, I did not enjoy it. And I was working very hard to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. And this is it.
That's so cool.
I'm just like, I'm good.
Yeah, we're
I'm
good.
happy. And my clients are loyal, and they respect me and my time, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it any other way.
Yeah. I say to my husband sometimes, I'm like, I don't need more than this. Like, I don't need a nicer car. Like, I don't need any, like, I'm good. Everything I have is more than most. And like, I'm set in this.
Yeah.
So I know, I think there's some like beauty in that. And like, you have full control, especially being in such a creative space. Like it's hard. It's like your baby. Everything that you pump out is your name. It's your, your vision. And from what I can tell on your Instagram feed, it's very specific. It's just beautiful. I've never seen things like that. And honestly, I didn't even know that we had, I guess it's probably just you. Like we don't really have places that do what you're doing. So I think it's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I've my friends know that I've totally erased my Instagram feed previously because I wasn't happy with how it looked and how it was showing up.
It's
and
a big deal.
I'm not afraid to do that.
Yeah.
I will again if I ever get uncomfortable, but it's important to, as a business, again, as a small business, to be intentional with what you're putting out there, and not just, again, just like with taking customers, not just do the TikTok reels and things that make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like you will never catch me dead doing that. I will have to literally being dead, and we do it all. That's the TikTok. Someone dead on the floor.
Yeah, like, that's okay.
It's not me.
No,
and that is
you have to be your authentic self.
So do what feels right, and if that's only posting once a month, that's
okay.
If that's curating your feed because it makes you feel good, that's okay.
It's your brand. It's your, no, we're the opposite. We're like, let's pump it out. But that's who we are. And like, I'm loud and proud about it. But I totally get your side of things. Like, no, it's a totally different creative space. Like, no. We want to be top of mind. You want to be only like very specific mind.
Yes.
I love that. So how can people get in contact with you if somebody wanted to hit you up and say, hey, my wedding's coming up? What's the best way to reach out to you? How can people find you and follow you?
Through my website. I have an inquiry form. Stop in on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Send me a random email just to the email. Shoot me a DM.
She answers right back.
I do. If you have my phone number, send me a text. But obviously website, email, or DM is preferred.
Where do you get your flowers from?
Wholesalers.
Nice.
And this time of year, soon local farms are getting all their stock in.
How do you do that? Just like knock on their door? Like, how do you just like local farms?
One, I have a friend. Her name is Erin. She runs Renegade Flower Farm over across the line in Garden Valley. I send her a text when I need things, but she's kind of working her farm a little differently, so a little slower to the start this year. But there is a collective, it's called Philadelphia Floral Guild, that are local farms that bring their crop to one space for people to pre-order and pick up. Then that's florist specific. Okay. I do believe they let anybody come in. Don't quote me on that.
No,
but
I'm good.
they bring, there's farms from Chester County, Lancaster County, Jersey, Delaware area that bring their cuttings for the week up, and they inventory it, and they, you can pick it up on Wednesdays and things. So that's always good for weddings. But yeah, most of the time it's wholesalers that source from all over the world.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm just like, Acme sells them. Like I would never even know. It's so cool.
I know. And I know people know this, but Acme and Trader Joe's are only so cheap because they buy so much.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what is the thing with Trader Joe's? Why does everyone love Trader Joe's?
I don't know. I don't shop there.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I just know people like get their flowers for like their weddings at Trader Joe's. Like I've heard or seen on TikTok, like come with me to get my flowers at Costco. Yeah. I would never thought of that.
So terrible.
No.
Anyway.
Shop local.
I don't want to hate.
Shop. No, if it was a local, no, they're national brands. No, always shop local. I mean, that's the whole point of this podcast is just like bring on local business owners, hyping them up. Like I just think it's so cool what you're doing. I have like a major fascination with anyone that like bets on themselves, signs that lease, like goes ahead and like puts their name on something. I just think it's like so admirable and so cool. So yeah, I'm so excited for you. We will definitely be coming in. Hopefully my husband sooner than myself. No, but we will definitely be coming in and, hitting you up for staging if we get a big listing that needs some beautiful florals, I'm sure.
Totally. Yeah. I'll have a bunch of fresh flowers in tomorrow. I'll come by and
we'll come tomorrow.
Make some content.
We'll get some content tomorrow. And, and what's your Instagram for anyone that doesn't know?
At This Is Rooni. Spelled Rooni.
This is Rooni. And we'll obviously be tagging her. Anything you want to leave us with? Any events you have coming up besides Mother's Day? Anything you want to highlight or leave us with?
Just buy her flowers.
I love it. Well, thank you, Gwen. Thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun. And there's another awesome episode of Life on the Ave, Rooni Studio. Definitely check out Gwen, and we will see you next week.